We're live. We're live.
Shit.
No countdown.
No countdown. We're just into it straight away. All right. So listen, folks. This is actually. You know what, Devout? No, I want you.
Oh
You're gonna do.
no.
You're gonna, mate. This is Devout is gonna do the introduction. I listened to last week's show, so listen. Devout is going to be doing the
You
intro.
know what it is there? 200 shows. I always get nervous doing introductions. I don't know why.
It was so funny
I don't
because
know what I'm doing.
when I was
I
listening
don't
to
know what
last
I'm
week's show,
doing. I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
this guy was just going straight into it. He was just going,
I know.
and
I
then
don't know
in
what
the middle, of something, he's like, "Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, subscribe and and all that sort of stuff." So Deval is kindly going to take it away.
Yes. Okay. Good. No, not good. Hello, everyone. You see, I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Flixters. Yes, welcome to the Flixters.
Yes.
This is one of the best podcasts you're going to get out there when it comes to movies and TV shows and laughs. We start with the laugh, we end with the laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you join the Flixters. We've got many Flixters already that listen to us every week and they love the show. You can catch us on X, you can catch us on Facebook, you can catch us on Instagram, you can catch us on YouTube, you can catch us on all the major social streaming networks. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Social,
You're doing great.
social media networks. But yeah, this week's show, we've got a really, you know what? We've actually got a really good lineup today. Actually, a really good lineup. We've got we've got two films that are very different, very powerful.
Yeah.
We've got some news. We've got some trailers. And we've got something to take you down memory lane as well with Anniversary Corner. So
100%.
stay tuned for that as well.
100%. But listen, Devout, before we get to that, I just want to ask you, obviously we're using Zencaster, right? The platform that we use to record and kind of upload everything. It's a great platform, by the way. I've been getting a lot of people messaging me saying, how can we get involved and do the same thing like as you guys? Because we've been doing this now. What? Remind our listeners how many years have we been doing this?
5 years, 254 shows. Yeah.
So we've been doing this a while, folks. And so I had a few people message me. They were like, "Oh, we want to kind of start a podcast." And I was like, "You know what? Do it. It's easy. Zencaster, great, super easy." So I'm going to just quickly mention a bit, about Zencaster because they're actually sponsoring this episode.
Big enough to get a sponsor now, yeah? Okay.
Big enough. We're moving up in the world. So listen, I just want to say one thing. It's super easy to sign up with Zencaster. But we're gonna make it convenient for you because if you sign up, there's a nice little sweetener for you. So log in using your browser and start recording high quality podcasts right away. So you can record studio quality sound in the comfort of your own home, up to 4K quality recordings. You feel a sense of zen knowing Zencaster's multi-layered backups ensure you're always having your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Deval's connection and my connection, it's not always the best, trust me. But listen, we always get our uploads up there. It's an all-in-one solution. And listen, go to zencaster.com/pricing and use our code, the Flixters Podcast, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. It is a great deal. We want you to have the same experiences as us. For all our podcasting and content needs, use Zencaster. So listen, go out there and share your story. All right, listen, let's get onto the show, Deval. Let's do
shout outs.
Yes.
It's a connection again. But no, I'm joking. It's not. Multi-layered tech makes sure that you get it straight away. So shout out, first one and only one this week goes to Sandra Azoka.
Muy bien.
Sandra Azoka, muy bien. Buenos dias. So she's basically give us a massive shout out on Instagram. She loves movies, TV shows, and she shouted out about Ahsoka Tano on
Oh
Disney
man.
Plus. So she's
Yep.
watching that. She loves the show. She loves Rebels as well from
Yep.
the animation from a few years ago, and she's really looking forward to finding out what more is going to happen on the
Yeah.
show Ahsoka. She also mentioned last week's show about open water. She loves it. A
Yeah.
really understated film, really simple but really effective. So we know that, like I said, the Flixters, we're not no normal bunch. Our people know their stuff. Yeah, Sandra
listeners
knows her
from
stuff.
listeners from all over the globe. And actually,
Mm.
you know what? Sandra will actually be really great to come on the show. So listen,
Come
Sandra,
on the
if
show.
you are listening to this, we want you to come on the show. We'll
Come
set something up. It's going
Mm,
to be super easy.
mm.
You'll dial in
Yeah,
using Zencaster, by the way.
yeah.
Nice
There you
plug.
go. Yeah.
Nice plug in.
Come on the show,
Uh,
Sandra. We want to see and hear from you.
Exactly. We'll get Sandra on. We'll book that in at one point. But listen, it's great to have people who listen to the show, who get in touch with us. You can be a
Mm.
shout out on the show as well. Deval, where can people get in touch with us?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, to X, and say Twitter,
Yes.
X, and yeah, that's it really. Yeah, that's it.
Find us.
Email
We're
as
out
well.
there.
Yeah, shouts,
Exactly.
just everywhere.
We will be listening. All right, listen, let's get on to the show. Let's do movie news now. Deval, what are we
Yeah,
speaking about first? Because, yeah,
yeah.
I mean, movie news, bit sparse over the last couple of weeks, but interesting bits. And I reckon it's a lot to do with the whole SAG-AFTRA thing.
Yes, yeah. Do you know what? You said it's a bit sparse, and you're right. There's, I don't know, it's not the same as it used to be. I think,
No.
like you mentioned, the strikes and all kinds of stuff is happening, so it's a little bit, spacey. But
Mm,
Keanu Reeves, we know the immortal Keanu Reeves recently came
yeah.
out with his third, was it third or fourth? No,
What?
fourth. It was the fourth John Wick, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. So John McFall, yeah. And
Yeah, the
maybe
fourth.
could there be another? I reckon there will be. Who
Will be
knows?
another John Wick, but
Mm.
Constantine. Do you remember Constantine or
Mate,
Constantine? I don't know however
yes.
which way. When did
Underrated. I liked it, man.
Mate. Constantine the movie. When did it first come out? I think it was 2008.
Wow, no.
I think it was. I
Has it
think it
been
was.
that
I think
long?
yeah, Constantine. Yeah. 2005. Sorry, even longer. 2005.
Wow.
So another 2 years. That's 20 years ago. So the first one came out had Rachel Weisz, Tilda Swinton, Peter
Yeah.
Stormare, Shia LaBeouf,
He played
Jumon.
devil. He played the devil, didn't he?
Yeah,
Stormare,
he
did he?
did. Yeah,
Or a demon or something.
a version of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
He played Lucifer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And Jumon Honsu. It's basically a DC
Mm.
IP,
Character.
and it's about a character who has a deal with the devil and does work, does some shady work, and he has his long trench coat. He's able to go between realms, and
Yep.
he has, he's made a deal with the devil, so he's got to do some shady stuff in order to be able to still, operate and stay alive and
Mm.
so on. But it's a lot more multi-layered than that. But Constantine is a really deep character. The film came out, it done okay,
Yeah.
but nearly 20 years later now, it
It
looks
has
like
a
we're
cult
going to get
following.
massive cult following. But I think we're going to get a sequel now. It's in the
Yeah.
works. I haven't got much more details yet, but just know it's going to happen. It could be 20-year anniversary and we see it on the screens. Who knows?
Mate, let's just hope
Mm.
it's not like he did one just recently, did he? The Matrix.
The Matrix Reborn or whatever it was called,
Yeah,
that was
you know what? That was a bit of a misstep. And maybe
shit.
they rushed it. Exactly. Maybe they
Shit.
rushed it. It was. Listen, I'm all up for Keanu Reeves. He does great movies,
Mm.
and I want to see this one done really well. So I don't know, bring in the best writer that you can get for DC. Well, mind you, James Gunn. This will be his thing, won't it?
Yeah, but I don't. But
Won't he
I
oversee
wouldn't want
this?
him. Yeah, I wouldn't want him to do this because it'd be too jokey and all kind of. The tone would be a bit light.
Because
I want it to be
Constantine is
dark.
dark.
Yeah, it needs to be
Yes.
dark, like dark like what's that? What's those
DC
rooms?
dark.
Yeah, where they do the photos, the developer room dark or whatever.
Oh
Where they do
yeah, the
the
dark room.
dark room. Simple, dark room, dark. Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be dark. Just not too many jokes, and yeah, just keep it the same but better.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's keep it. Well, what's not dark, definitely on the light side, but also very
Mm.
kind of violently as well. Deadpool. So, Deval, this is happening. We know it's happening, and the major news that we've spoken about on this show before. Go back and listen to a few of our other episodes. Deadpool 3 is happening. Hugh Jackman's definitely going to be in it. you've spoken about this before. We've seen set pictures of Hugh Jackman in the old school X-Men uniform.
Mm.
So what's going on now, man? Anything extra that you can tell us?
Yes, this came up on Twitter, or X as we call it now.
Mm.
But you know the young boy that was in he was in that film with Ryan Reynolds, the Adam Project.
Yes, he played the younger version of the past version of Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, exactly. So his name's
Mm.
Walker Scoble. I think it is Walker Scoble. You know,
Mm.
Americans love having surnames for first
Yeah,
names, isn't it?
yeah.
So yeah, so they're saying that he will play Kidpool in Deadpool 3.
Oh,
I'm not sure how much of this Kidpool we're going to see, or it might be some sort of really quick alternate universe clip or something. But
yeah,
obviously, they had a really great relationship in the Adam Project. Walker Scoble and Ryan Reynolds, and it looks
yeah.
like he may have landed himself another another role. And who knows if that role may even spawn another spin-off? Who knows? But yeah, Kidpool's a mad character.
He's like a kid version of now. Imagine a
Definitely,
kid
yeah,
version of like effing and blinding and like shooting people in the
yeah,
brain. Imagine that,
yeah,
but just kind of 15, 14, 13, whatever year old he
yeah.
is,
Yeah,
which
so
this
that'd be
kid could play.
interesting. Yeah, he could do. And do you know what? I wouldn't mind it. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's not too much.
Mm.
I hope it's not too much. I hope it's just enough. Give us
Yeah,
5 minutes of it and send him on his way. You know,
exactly. Do you remember? Do you remember there was this film called Kick Ass?
Kick-Ass, yeah, 2010 with Aaron Taylor Johnson and
And he had a sidekick called Hit Girl,
yeah, yeah, yeah. What's her name? Is it Chloe?
Grace Moretz or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
and she was kind of,
yeah, yeah,
sweary and kind
yeah.
of blowy, and
She was good. That was
she
her
was good
movie.
in that.
She was very good, very
She
good,
was very good. Yeah, the
very
kind
good.
of like boy version of that, basically. All
Yeah.
right, let's move on. Now I've heard about this, Deval. So we know about Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Now there's been some sort of kind of change, but listen, there's also been some delays, and I'm going to let you get on with your bit, but we'll speak about the delays in a bit. But yeah, tell us about your bit first.
Yeah, this is just a real quick update, but this
Mm,
was the first Disney Plus Marvel series to come out in, I want to say it was January 2021.
yeah.
I will say, I could be wrong. I don't know, but yeah, I think it was all that time ago, 2.5 years ago. That was One Division, and then within that we had Agatha Harkness, who
Yeah.
was a sort of baddie in it. Really good baddie, actually, likable baddie, a bit like Loki, So that's
Mm,
just like that world's version of Loki. Really good, and then it appeared that she'd done so well that they were going to have a spin-off with her in it.
yep.
It was going to be called Agatha Dark. Sorry, it's going to be it was going to be called Agatha Coven
Yeah.
of Chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos magic and chaos. All that kind of stuff was part of One Division and formed a large part of it. But now they've changed the title. Now it's going to be called Agatha
Yep.
Darkhold Diaries, and the Darkhold
Yeah.
is the book that is so powerful that you can just do anything. It's the same book that we saw in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness,
Yep.
and it's just a madness. So it looks like we're going to have some sort of stories from that book. It looks
Hmm.
like. So we'll see.
Exactly. And listen, so that was originally announced for a winter 2023 release. It's been pushed back
Mm.
to early 2020, autumn 2024.
Autumn, yeah, that's another
Or
year basically.
autumn, basically 2024. But check this out. Check this out,
Mm.
Devado. The only Marvel show that we're getting this year is going to be Loki.
Oh yes,
Only
that's
other,
okay. Show, and
right?
then we got the Marvels in November,
Then there
and
were the
then
Marvels. So
yeah.
What If is was supposed to come out on Christmas Day. I think that's been
Mm,
delayed. Echo is going to be coming out next year
mm,
now. And What If? Did I mention What If? I think
yeah.
Echo. Yeah, that was going to be done. Ironheart has been affected as well, and so is Daredevil. It's been affected.
Do you know what? I would normally be like, oh man, but do you know what? This superhero stuff is too much now. They need to slow it down.
Yeah.
It's the fatigue is set in, and it's
Slow
just the
down.
quality is low. Give us less, better, rather than more shitter. You know what I
There you
mean?
go. You know what? That should be a flipping slogan that we should just kind of put out there.
QET
Hashtag.
equals MC square. Just that's the equation that Marvel need. Yeah.
Exactly. That is, trust me. All right, so listen, look, we're going to finish up movie news, and I want to just speak about this. So, our friend of the show, so people who are just tuning into this, maybe this is your first episode, Henry Cavill, he's a
Mm.
mate of the show. We joke about this. I mean, I met him once, but okay, that's another story for another day. But check this out. Classic 80s movie, Highlander, one of my favorite movies from the 80s. I remember, um, this is no joke about it. I remember watching this movie on the first day it came out on VHS.
Is it
This is
V-
1986.
VHS on tape?
V This is like cassette recorder, which is like about this big, that goes
Mm.
inside.
What does
The
VHS
tape.
stand for?
Oh shit! You
Video
got
home
me. Home
system?
system.
Video home system or
That was
something
it.
maybe?
Yeah,
It might not,
video
but
home
I don't know.
system. They had the tracking when the picture was fuzzy, and you had a
Yeah.
thing that you could turn. But check this out, right? So Henry Cavill, he is taking on the mantle of the Immortal One. And check this out, man. This is gonna be directed by Chad Stahelski. Who do we? And we
Okay.
know
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Chad. Chad's
All
done.
right.
What's
All
Chad
right.
done? We know Chad from what Extraction in it or something.
Extraction. All the
April.
like all the action films, wasn't it?
Mm.
Atomic Blonde and just like all the good action. What's it called? We just spoke about it. John Wick.
Yeah, John
I
Wick.
think he's been involved in lots of the best action films of the past 10 years, at
Yeah,
least. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if he's involved in it, then you know the action's going to be good.
it's going to be great. And the storyline for this is really good. So the world is basically not run, but there's kind of like immortals basically.
Mm.
They play this game called the Quickening.
Hmm.
So they're all attracted to each other, and the person who is able to basically survive at the end of the game gets the quickening, and they get untold power, and basically they're immortal, so they live hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch the original Highlander. Really great movie. It starts
What's
off
the
as,
what's
what's
the
that?
saying? Is there's a saying that they say?
There can be only one.
Is it that there can be only one? There's another line I remember from the film or
It's
something, but
kind
I
of
can't.
magic.
No, there's something else that'll come to me, but there's some kind of line that stuck with me. Maybe it is there can
What?
be only one.
There can
I
be
don't
only
know.
one, because there can be only one, and
Is that the
that
line?
guy,
Yeah.
yeah, and then he has this massive battle in New York and everything. It's
Mm.
really really good, great 80s flick. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But Henry
Okay.
Cavill's going to be in the latest one, and it's going to have some great guys directing it, being behind the scenes. All right, so listen, that's your movie news. Let's move on to new on streaming. Deval has already mentioned this on last week's episode with Emmanuel, but we're going to speak a little bit about it. I've seen the first two episodes, and Deval, I know you're deep into this now. So all I want to just say uh, is it getting any better? And also, where does this fit in with the whole kind of Obi-Wan's, Mandalorians, Boba Fett's, and all that other stuff?
Okay. So I know Sandra is probably listening. I
Mm,
know she loves her Ahsoka, and I have to admit, Ahsoka, for me, is my favorite Star Wars character of them
yeah,
all.
she's great.
Of them all.
Mm,
But I have to say, I like the animated Ahsoka more than I like
the live action.
the live
Yeah,
action
but why? Like,
Ahsoka.
but is that because of the stories, or because of what? Like, she gets more to do
I
in the Rebels,
think
and
I don't know what it is, but Ahsoka for me, watching it also, I think maybe it's my fault. Watching her grow up
yeah,
and be that Ahsoka that makes mistakes and all kinds of stuff and grows into the person she is,
yeah.
I think that was a likable character.
Mm.
After she left the Jedi Order and
She
she
became
felt,
cold.
yes, that's exactly it. They done her wrong, and
Yeah.
they took away all her faith, and
Mm.
they changed her in a way. Do you know what I mean? The Jedi Order changed her in a way, and made her become a bit like cold and a bit like unemotional, and just took away her heart almost.
Yeah.
Her heart is still there, but it's very just matter of fact, you know.
Mm.
So this is the version that we get in the live action, and also the other characters seem to be the same. So you got what's her name? Oh man, the pilot. What's her name again?
Mary
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Weinstead. Mary
Winstead.
Elizabeth Weinstead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Sabine. It's not Sabine. It's Hera. Hera.
Okay.
Hera is also similar to Ahsoka, and I don't know why. Hera
Why
wasn't
they've
usually
gone that
like
way?
that. Like
Yeah.
the character seems to be a bit kind of like chilled. Like they don't have the. I don't know. It's a little bit flat for me. A little bit flat.
Mm.
I want to like it more than I do.
Yeah, okay, no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I had to go back and I had to watch the episode of The Mandalorian
Mm,
where we first introduced, and then, we see her with Grogu and all that sort of stuff. And you know what? Yeah, it's very kind of like. And I saw some episodes of the Clone Wars and Rebels as
mm,
well, just to
mm,
kind of get
mm.
reorientate myself. But yeah, she was kind of you know, obviously younger and everything, and like she makes mistakes, exactly like what you said, and there was that kind of that spark in her. And here,
Optimism and yeah.
yeah, now it's just like very like this
Mm,
is like it's kind of, and I was just like, all right, okay, I don't know, maybe it picks up, develop,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
maybe it gets a bit lighter, or she, we
yeah.
see that spring in a step again. I don't know.
And there's one other thing I must say. I know I don't want to talk about it too much, but recent Star Wars
Mm.
people just are immortal. They're the Highlanders. They don't hurt. We saw Sabine get stabbed by a lightsaber,
But nothing happened.
and then she's okay 2 days later. Not even 2 days later, the next day she's good.
And isn't the lightsaber supposed to be like
A
the
lightsaber.
ultimate weapon?
Usually, you can get, I don't know, you can get touched by it or something, and you're okay.
Mm.
Usually, if a lightsaber goes through your body, I don't care if it's on the side. It's always on the side somewhere where, oh, it's a flesh wound. It went through her. It didn't just touch her
Uh,
side. It went through her, out the other side, and the lady held it there and took it out, and then Sabine's okay. No, 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 no.
it
I
shouldn't be
think that
happening. Yeah.
no, and that for me, it takes away some of the respect for me. So
Mm.
things like that, it all adds up. It's not just
There's no
about
danger, right?
Ahsoka's character. All these things add up. It just doesn't. Yeah, something about it. It's not really. It's not
Yeah.
really. The
Well,
math ain't
listen, look,
mathing, man.
for me, Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, those are for me the highlight, and then Andor,
Mm,
and then
mm,
obviously everything else,
yeah,
after that.
yeah, yeah.
I guess that's where we're at. And listen, there's still going to be there's still more Star Wars stories that they were going to be telling. We know that Rey is going to be coming back, and we know that there's going to do, there's other stuff coming along, and so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But obviously, we're going to stick with this. Stick with the Flixters. We're going to be bringing you more info on the whole Star Wars
Mm,
universe, and we'll be speaking about that. But let's move on to new trailers. And now, listen, we've got two, maybe, yeah, two trailers kind of similar in tone, dealing with a lot of kind of death and a lot of kind of you know murder and stuff like that. So both on Netflix. And I
mm,
was doing the reading behind these movies, Deval. These are big movies, big movie stars, big movies. We've got a David Fincher directed movie called The Killer, starring Michael Fassbender. And you know what?
mm.
I saw the kind of the trailer for this, and I was like, "What's going on over here?" So Michael Fassbender, he plays a killer. It's called The Killer.
Mm.
He plays a hitman, and he goes onto a job that goes wrong, and the people that sent him on the job now are going to take things into their own hand. So make of that what you will.
Mm.
But the trailer is more about Michael Fassbender's character. He kind of seems like as if he's very kind of like very methodical, always kind of repeating things. You must be like this, you must be like this, and you must kind of, he's sort of kind of very calculated type of a thing, and it looks great. David Fincher, remind us again, David Fincher, Seven, Gone
Mm.
Girl.
Yeah,
What is David Fincher? He's done loads of great stuff.
yeah.
Seven,
Mind Hunter, I think he was behind as well.
Mindhunter.
The show on Netflix. Yeah.
Great, great, great. So I think
Mm.
this is going to be a really big movie for Netflix. It's going to have a limited cinema release as well. So it's coming out in the cinema in October, but it's going to be out in November on Netflix. It
Mm.
looks like as if this could be a movie to watch on cinema.
Mm. Okay.
You know, it has the kind of that darkness, that grittiness of kind of Seven and of kind of
Mm.
Mindhunter and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. If you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. And the other one that Deval put on there, I saw the trailer for this one. This is Reptile again, man. This is looking deep.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro. He's looking
Yep.
gangster as always. He plays a detective trying to solve this murder, but there's kind of twists and turns in this murder as well, Deval. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I didn't know what to fully like. The trailer's very cryptic in a way. You know, it's
Mm,
a crime drama. There's murders, like you say. Benicio del Toro. You got Justin Timberlake as well. I ain't seen him in
yeah.
a while on screen. With a bunch of other actors as well that we'll all recognize. But looks like an interesting Netflix offer, you know.
Mm,
And anytime Benicio del Toro is involved, you kind of just you're drawn to him because he's an
yeah. You
interesting
sit up
actor.
and notice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an interesting. He's one of those actors, yeah, where like, do you know him?
No.
Exactly. Like you often like so some of the actors you kind of see their characters and personalities. I don't think I've ever even seen him do press.
No. Or
I've
if
not.
I
I've,
have seen it, it's very low key.
yeah, like he's one of the actors that is quite mysterious to me. So yeah, just I'll watch it for sure. Mm,
Oh man, 100% Oscar
yeah,
winner. Alicia Silverstone. She
yeah,
was obviously big back in the day. So yeah, go check it out. That's called Reptile, and the other one before that called The Killer. Reptile, I think, is coming out very soon, Deval. Maybe October,
yeah. So I've really seen it. If not even September, you know, it's
possibly.
like yeah, it's real
Possibly, yeah,
soon.
around the corner. Go check those trailers out. All right, let's do anniversary corner. And Deval, which one are we speaking about on this week's show?
This one, I'm gonna go with Fallen.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fallen. Fallen is Denzel Washington,
Yep.
and I don't know. Have you seen this one before?
Is it a bit supernatural? No, it's not supernatural, is it?
Yes,
Is it?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
kind of
yes,
like a
yes,
serial killer in there as well.
yes. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I haven't got mentioned it now. We can move on to the next thing. Uh, but yeah, this. Oh my God, Fallen. This film. I've seen this film only once, and you know what?
Yeah.
I want to see it again because it's one of those films when you haven't seen it in a long time, and when you watch it again, it's good. But it's a homicide detective, John Hobbs, which Denzel Washington usually plays some sort of detective or someone called John. He played John
Yeah.
Q.
Like
You
a
know,
good guy.
yeah, exactly. He plays a detective who witnesses an execution of a serial killer, and soon after the execution, that serial killer's spirit somehow goes into the body of other people, and then he starts killing again, and the reason why he knows it's him because he leaves a signature, like there's a signature that he leaves when he kills people that he knows
Yeah.
it's this person. But how do you prove it? Everyone's just seen the guy die, so how are
Exactly.
you going to tell people this guy is killing again and for them to take you serious and for you as a cop to say it out loud? It's crazy.
Yeah.
And he can hop between body and body. It's a mad film. Fallen, 1998. That's 25 years ago.
Man, crazy.
25,
And
yeah,
you know
25
what?
years ago. It's worth
It's
it.
not. It's not like you don't see Denzel doing those types of movies now.
No, you don't.
No,
You don't.
and it's great that he has this great kind of filmography where you've got a movie like Fallen, you've got a movie like Training Day, and like the kind of the drama and this is
Mm,
psychological horror as well. So
yeah.
yeah, go check it out, Fallen. And we've chosen it because obviously Denzel Washington is back on our screens.
Yep.
So Deval and I are going to be speaking about this movie. This is The Equalizer Part 3. And I mean, listen, look, Equalizer movies, it's a character that is based on. It was a British actor called Edward Woodward
Oh, what a
from the
name.
80s that was on this TV show. It was based in America and everything, I think. And
Was
he
it?
would base. Sorry?
Was it based in America? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so he's a British actor, Edward
Hmm.
Woodward, and I think it was in America, and
Okay.
and basically he would go off and like people would come to him for help, and then he would basically he's basically a good guy, um, and he would kind of clean shit up and get in there and mete out justice to people who deserve it, and they then kind of did a reboot, and I didn't know this or I heard about this. there was a TV show, Equalizer, as well, starring Queen
Mm.
Latifah.
Oh yes, yes, yeah, yeah. I've seen that the trailer. I've never watched it, but
I never watched it.
yeah,
I don't know if that was any good, and basically
comes
blah blah
on. It still
blah.
comes on. It still
Oh,
comes
is
on, from
it
what I
still on?
understand.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you
still on.
go.
Yeah.
So here we've got Antoine Fuqua. He's back again, and he's obviously had a really good relationship with Denzel Washington. Part one, part two, uh, basically the same. I really liked part one, and when I saw part two, it kind of dipped a bit. And then here we are now, part three, all these years later, where Denzel Washington, he's in Sicily. He is
Mm.
cracking skulls. He is busting people up. And you know what, right, Deval, no joke. One vibe that I got from this was like a slasher movie. This is no
Mm.
joke. It felt like a slasher movie. Since when did he become like John Wick? Or
He
was
was
he
worse
always
than
John
that.
Wick?
It was a
No, he
horror
was.
film.
Yes, it was
Do
a horror film.
you know why? Because Jason Blum's involved in producing this film. Jason Blum of
Oh, there
Blumhouse.
you go.
The film opens up with a scene from this
Massacre.
place. It's a massacre on next level. People's heads are chopped, and you think to yourself, who could have done this? The scene that is left behind is disgusting.
Yes.
It shocked me. I thought
Me too.
Denzel did this, like Denzel.
That thing that he does with his lip, I'm like, mate, we've got to start doing that.
Yeah.
You know, when people address us, we're going to have to
Mm.
get a cloth out, start folding it, look at our
Mm.
watch, time it, and then come up with our response. That's basically it.
Denzel, he chops people up, and you're thinking to yourself, hold on, I don't care how good this guy is, he is evil, or he has evil in his head to be able
Yes,
to do that. He's a mass murderer. He's a
that's
mass
it.
murderer. Hmm.
He's Jason Voorhees, man. This
But
guy.
at the same time, you got to think, okay, he's Denzel, he's a likable character, he's a good guy, but this guy is also a pensioner. How old is he? And you're telling me he is able to go out and do all this shit,
I know.
just him
Yeah.
one, and
Yes.
never catch a bullet or anything. Right, mate.
And that is the thing. So we're verging on like Fast and Furious territory here. One guy taking out the whole of the mafia, basically. So it sets it all up. So he's in Italy, he's in Sicily, and he deals with this kind of crime family for whatever reason. He gets injured. He does get injured, and then he gets holed up in some Italian town, small
Yeah.
town. He gets kind of helped by the local doctor, and the doctor asks him a question. He says, "Are you a good man or are you a bad man?" And Denzel Washington, his response is, "I don't know." And then we just leave it at that. So then he recovers, and then time passes. So we see the passing of time. He gets to
Mm.
interact with the locals. You know, he gets to speak a bit of Italian. He's got to climb up to kind of the church and everything, and he starts to kind of find his place. You know, and he starts, but danger's always around the corner, especially with if the equalizer's there, and then before long he gets caught up in some other person's business, and then we get to see that dark side of the equalizer thing again. And listen, look, Deval, I've got to say, I wasn't expecting to like the movie as much as I did, and I like seriously, I was like, if you go into this movie knowing what to expect.
Or you go into a podcast not knowing what to expect, then you're in the right place. Because every 6.5 minutes, we're gonna find out.
Oh, trust me. There you go. And I'm pretty sure Manuel would have heard that.
On the midnight train to Georgia, and it is nearly midnight where you are,
It
isn't it?
is.
I'm sure.
It is. No, it's quarter to 10. But listen, I wasn't expecting to like it. But you know what? The second one, I wasn't too. I
Yeah,
can't even remember what the second one was.
I
What was
can't
the second
remember.
one?
Me too. I can't remember. I don't know.
I can't remember it. But
Mm,
this one, I thought I kind of liked him being this fish out of water. He's in Italy. He's trying to
mm,
figure things out, and he's obviously trying to save the day. We he's kind of also at the same time. What I liked was they've got this kind of this one person, obviously this person of color. They put him in
mm.
this predominantly white place.
Yeah.
People are thinking, who the hell is this guy? What's he doing? He sticks out like a sore thumb. but somehow he fits in. And
Mm.
he kind of, the people like him, the locals like him, and he likes the locals. But there's bad people, and it leads up to this one scene where he basically takes people out. And like Deval mentioned, why is it that he's able to dodge every single bullet there is? I don't get it.
He dodges it like a gangster dodges tax or something. I don't know, man.
Seriously, man.
It is, yeah. And only the only time he gets injured, I'm not going to say how. The only time he gets injured is by mistake, almost by the
Mm.
person that you least suspect. And I've got a funny feeling that person that injured him is going to come back in a few years, and we'll have another film because that person is going to grow up and say, "I want revenge."
Yeah,
That's another story. But yeah, this
exactly.
film for me as well. I did enjoy it.
Mm.
It's kind of going into the realm of Fast and Furious a little bit, where
Yeah.
just don't expect much sort of reality in this. This is a movie. A lot of what he's doing, it's just impossible. Like the way he's sitting down there and he says, "Okay, you got 9 seconds to think about your future," and they got guns pointed at him, and it seems like these people all they want to do is talk and let
Yeah.
him do something. He got, and then within the 9 seconds, he's like, "Okay, that's it," and that's it. It's like within the blink of an eye, this pensioner has moved quick
Um,
enough that he can stop one person. There's 3 people or 4 people with guns on him, and somehow he doesn't catch any bullets. It's
no.
mad. I don't get it. And then he's in Italy, like you said, in a town, only brother in sight. Well, I guess
Yeah.
they're throwing a sister for him
Yeah,
too.
that's true.
His
Yeah.
sister, who's probably half his age. I don't know
Hey,
how she's. I guess he's the only brother in town, but
yeah.
so she
There's a
goes.
bit of spark there.
You know what I mean? She just moves to him. I'm like, wow, this man. This is, the girls are drawn to him. It's like, how's he getting her?
Mm.
How's he getting there? But yeah, I mean, and then Dakota Fanning as well.
Dakota Fanning,
Dakota
yeah.
Fanning, the first time they've worked together since 2004, Man on
Man on
Fire.
Fire. Man on
Yeah,
Fire.
Man on Fire,
Yes.
2004. So it's.
And there was I didn't remember there was a connection between the mum, her Dakota Fanning's mum.
I don't remember that as well.
I don't
No,
remember it. There,
but it
there was,
must be there. But I just don't
yeah, I've got
remember.
maybe got to go back and watch part one or part two. But listen, look, it's the Equalizer. It's Denzel Washington doing his thing,
Mm.
cracking skulls, breaking people up, not getting shot or not getting killed, whatever. And you know what? I think this is going to be it, though, right? I mean, this is the end of the. This is it.
Well, I should think so. A nice wrapped up trilogy. He's gonna retire in Spain now, and no, sorry, it's not
Mm,
Spain, Italy. Live out his life. I should think they should leave it there. I hope
they
they leave
should.
it there because at least
Then,
it gets left on a bit of a high rather than drag it through the mud.
and
So
in 10 years' time, Deval, they do a reboot and they
hmm
bring his son.
yeah, yeah. Why not? Yeah, yeah. That can happen.
Give
Yeah,
it, let it breathe. Let it just
yeah.
kind of just take it now. Leave it. It's done. There's a TV show. Go out there, watch that.
Mm.
Let Rob McCall. Is it? I forgot what his name is now. Something McCall. I think
Yeah,
we mentioned it
Robert
in the thing.
McCall. Yeah,
Robert McCall or something. All right. Okay. So that's the Equalizer. Go check it out. A thumbs up from me.
yeah.
But a kind of not a right thumbs up, but a thumbs up.
Mm.
Deval went out and watched Sound of Freedom. Now we've spoken about this on the show. We mentioned this trailer a while ago. This movie's done really, really. It's an independent, kind of low budget, but starring a named actor. I mean, this guy's made movies before. We know who he is. Funny enough, he starred in a film with Denzel Washington.
What was that?
Remember the Time one?
Oh, Deja Vu. Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Deja
yeah.
Vu.
Oh yeah.
He played the killer.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a good film. 2006. That's a good film,
2006. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I saw that in cinema. So Deval went out and watched this. This is called Sound of Freedom. We've already spoken a bit about this on the show, but yeah, Deval, let us know what you thought of this one.
Okay, so you've set up really nicely. Sound of Freedom, directed by Alejandro Monteverde,
Hmm.
Jim Caviezel starring Mino Sorvino, sorry, Bill
Yeah.
Camp as well is in the film. This film is all about children trafficking.
Mm.
Yeah, people trafficking children into sex, sex trafficking basically.
Yeah.
When I say children, I mean children. children. I'm not talking about young people. I'm talking about children that are just it's just a no go. Do you know what I mean? Uh, and this film came out years ago. Sorry, it was made years ago. It
Right,
was
right,
released
right.
this year in July in America, and in other areas, September the 1st. Angel Studios, and it was made on £5 million budget.
What?
Sorry, $5 million budget, I should say. So far, from what I understand, where is it? Oh, no, I got it wrong. My mistake. Sorry, 14 million dollar budget.
Yeah.
$14 million budget. So far, worldwide gross is 181 million.
Shit. That's
181
wicked.
million. It's over 10x. And
That
that's
is
so far.
mad.
That's with it just being released out now in the UK. And that's just US and Canada budget so far.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
So far, I'm talking a lot about stuff that isn't about the film because I really don't want to spoil it for you. Yeah.
Mmm.
I really don't want to spoil it for you. But the film is based on a true story.
Yep, yep, heard
A
about
true
this.
story about a government agent who works for Homeland Security. His name's Tim Ballad, and he works in catching paedophiles basically. So they'll go
Mm.
on the internet and they'll track people's IPs and this and that, and they'll catch people who are disseminating. Uh, photos and images
Yeah,
of minors in sexual situations and so on, and arrest them. This man has got a family of five children. He's married. He
yeah,
really takes his job seriously, and it gets to a point where he has to choose. Okay, is it just enough to arrest these people that disseminate and share
yeah.
photographs and videos because the children are still out there?
Mm.
The children in these images are still out there. What are you going to
Yep,
do? And someone really asks him the question, and he can't answer it, and that bothers him. And then he does something about it, and he says, "Yeah, I want to go and actually try and find these children. That's what
yeah.
it's got to be about. It's not just about stopping the images, because
It's
the
that.
children are still out there." So then he makes that his mission, and he goes out and tries to find where these children are and who's actually trafficking them. They're
Yeah,
the ones you got to. It's not the people. I guess yes. Sorry, it is the people that also consume this, but it's the people that do the trafficking. That's you
yeah.
got to stop it at its root.
Exactly.
So that's what he decides to do.
So what? He
And
goes to what different countries or?
yeah, he's American, and he does go to different countries. I'm not going to say it's sort of South America, Central America,
Right, right,
where
right.
he's
Gotcha,
where a lot of
gotcha.
this is happening.
Yeah,
And kids that are taken are kids that the traffickers think no one's going to care for them. They're not people of
yeah.
any prominence,
Mm.
and they're deprived, locations, and no one's going to know they're missing, and stuff like that. So they really
So
know
they
who to
prey on
target.
those young kids. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And this is a review that you're not going to get a review out of me
Mm.
for the first time in 5 years. You're not going to get a review out of me.
Okay.
I'm
Wow.
not. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not
Yeah.
going to do it. And it's not because I don't want to tell you about the film. It's because it's almost like one of those ones where anything I tell you would be an injustice
Yeah.
of what the
Okay.
film
I
can really
gotcha.
do.
Yeah.
And also, I don't want to spoil anything for you. I saw it with a
Mm.
cleanish mind. I did see. I did see an interview of the real guy and
Yeah.
Jim Caviezel and people talking about the film. I didn't go too deep into it because I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise, but I
Yeah.
knew roughly what it was about. But what I saw was 10 times better.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
What I
man.
saw was
I
10
gotta
times
watch
better.
this.
And I've said to people so far, yeah, because my cousin even asked me this, even this morning, she
Yeah.
said, I said to her, I've seen the film. I gave it a
Yeah.
thumbs up. And she said, so what's it like? And I said, well, if you've got kids, don't
Oh
watch the film.
shit!
And I said, if you don't have kids, don't watch the
Don't watch
film.
the film. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I tell
that's
you
deep,
this, yeah.
Deval. That
Me and the
is.
mi-
You
me
know
and the
what?
missus, me and the miss, we went to
I,
go and see the film, and
yeah.
she was sitting next to some man, She said he
Yeah.
was sobbing.
Oh
He was like
God.
trembling in his seat, sobbing. And you could hear people around the cinema, it was
Yeah.
packed. You could hear people around the cinema reacting to certain things, making noises. And it's a really different, powerful film
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you
I
don't
gotta
expect
watch
to
it.
see coming.
I got to watch it.
No, I recommend you don't. You've got kids,
I know.
and
And you know
I,
what? But
I
I
think
think
afterwards
the
it's
subject
powerful,
matter is so
powerful, man.
powerful,
Mm.
and yeah, it probably there will be bits in there where it's going to make me think about obviously like my family and everything like that.
Mate, you're gonna fit them
But
a GPS tracking devices after this.
I
You're gonna go to the farm, give me your gun, and go.
can you go put one in there? Oh
Honestly,
man.
I-
No, it's you know what? And listen, folks that are listening to this podcast, that's the first time that Devour has ever. That's the first time I've heard you say that
mm-mm.
about a movie. That's the first time
You're
in
not
all these
getting a
years,
review
in
out of
six
me.
years.
You're not getting a review. Go watch it. That's all I got to say. Go watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I
That's
got
it.
to, I
And
got
then
to.
they talk about the stats of
Mm. And this is
child
based on a true
trafficking.
story, isn't it? This
It,
is a true.
you know what? I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, it's based on a true story, and
Okay,
you will
yeah.
see. You won't just hear, but you will see just how true what you've seen
Mm.
is. And we were both like, oh my, hold on a second. We
No.
just, we were like, no, it's mad. It's
Oh,
mad,
mad. So now you can
mad.
understand why the film's done so well.
And people are saying, no, it's a far right film, or, all the Trump supporters love it. Ignore all the bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
If
No,
you
I
care
wasn't
about
even.
kids,
I read about that, but I wasn't. I never was.
yeah,
The only thing that I heard was that it was people were saying, "Oh, it's a religious film," but I don't get that, do I?
there's
You don't
there's
get that, do you?
there's a couple of moments, and I don't blame it, to be honest. But
Yeah,
Jim Caviezel, he's changed.
he's
He's a Christian, you
yeah
know.
he's a religious guy.
Yeah, but he doesn't do any kind of film anymore. He doesn't do all these commercial films. That's why you don't see him that much.
Right, so
He
he
only
only
does
does movies
he only does films that
with a
he
message.
believes, yeah, a good message and that he really feels connected to. There's a couple of, not a lot. They don't like throw it down your neck, but there's a couple of
Yeah.
moments in it where there's a really, I'm not going to spoil it as well. There's a really powerful
Mm.
scene where someone says, he says a lot of things and it's
Yeah.
powerful. And he says,
Yeah.
when God tells you to do something, you do it. And Jim Caviezel's face in the film, like there's a couple of moments where they mention
Yeah.
God and stuff, and they don't mention Jesus or this or that. They mention God, so they kind of,
God. Yeah.
sort of,
Universal.
yeah, exactly. So they try not to limit people because people from different faiths, even though
Yeah.
they have different faiths, they still believe in God. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean? So people are still can be connected in that way, but
Yeah.
they don't shove it down your throat. But it's enough that whether you believe in God or not, you
Mm.
want safety for those children. Do you know what I mean? But
Trust
it's
me. Yeah. You
yeah,
will be
so
believing in God after it, basically.
oh, mate, it's a powerful film, and the stats that they talk about with child trafficking, and
Oh
they say that
man.
it's worth. I can't remember how much it is. I'm sorry
Yeah.
for not remembering, but it's hundreds of millions a
Like
year.
in dealing with kids and images
Yes,
and stuff like that.
hundreds of millions. They say that it surpassed the arms trafficking. Sorry, and they're saying that the next thing it could surpass is the drugs
Oh my gosh.
because they simply state it like this.
Mm.
Yeah, with
Mm.
drugs. This is
Man.
Vaseline. Yeah, this is Vaseline. If I was a drug dealer
Mm.
and you liked Vaseline, I could sell this to you for
Mm.
£20.
Yeah.
Here you go. Take Vaseline. It'd be so good if you had one day and you just went like that.
That'd be
You
amazing.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, take the Vaseline. Here's a £20. Here you go. Take it. I've sold it. Bob's your uncle. Nice.
Mm.
But with child trafficking, yeah, they can sell you the child for a
Yeah.
day. You get that child back. You sell the
Yeah.
child the next day, the next day, the next day. So they equate it as you can sell this
One.
child
Yeah. For multiple times.
for years. That's why it's so lucrative to them.
Mm.
It's just, and it's so sad, so powerful
Yeah.
when they give you those stats. And this Tim Ballad guy that is, you see the story that you see in the film.
yeah.
You see after the film ends, I'm not going to spoil it, but you see other stuff as well that really mad
Just
powerful.
puts it into.
Yeah, but
That's
it's just the
mad.
film is not too long, not too short. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes,
Okay.
and it starts straight away.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
it doesn't
full on
hang
straight
about.
away.
It
Okay.
starts. But yeah, this is a good, good film.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm watching it. It's on there.
It's a good film.
I got
But
to
like I
watch
say
it.
to
I
you,
got to
watch
watch it.
it and be just,
Mindful of.
take care
Yeah.
of your mind afterwards, man, and
Yeah.
just how you operate yourself and your kids. Maybe even warn your kids first and say, I might be a bit strict with you afterwards and that, but don't worry, it's out
Mm,
of love, But
yeah.
yeah, it's a powerful one, man. Honestly,
I got to
that's all I
watch it,
can
man.
say.
That's listen, and folks who are
Mm,
listening, go out and watch it as well because it sounds great, or don't watch it, which is what Deval was saying. But listen,
yeah.
look, those are our movies for this week.
Mm,
I think we've got a clear winner. If you are going to go out and watch a movie,
mm.
I think we know which one you should definitely go out and watch. But listen, look, keep it locked with the fixes. We've got more movies coming up. Devout September. Remind me again, what big movies have
Yeah.
we
So
got?
next week we've got two
Hmm.
movies. I did actually see one already, which is called Cobweb, but we'll talk about that
Oh,
next week. It's a horror film
okay.
with Anthony Starr, who's Homelander,
Yes, I've
with the
seen. Yeah, I've
child.
heard about the with the
Yeah,
child. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. You've
child. Yeah,
spoken
the
about this before.
Cobweb.
Yep.
Then we've got the Nun 2, which is out next week as well. So we'll
Yes.
get two horrors next week
Yep. Defo.
for you.
Defo.
So,
You're not going to watch. I might try and fit in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
oh, I think that might come and gone for me. I wasn't too fussed with it, to be honest.
Okay. What
Yeah,
about
maybe. You know what? Yeah, watch Sound of
what
Freedom, and
about no? You're
afterwards
not.
watch
You're not going to
Turtles.
watch Haunting in Venice, though, are you?
Yeah, do you know what? I didn't realize that's Pryor, isn't it?
Yes.
I thought it was another film. Just I didn't. I was so stupid. I didn't realize it was a Pryor character.
Yeah. It's him. It's
Yeah,
what's his name? The British guy.
Branagh, Kenneth Branagh. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I stupidly thought it was just a totally different film with the actor that is basically looking like Pryor again. I didn't realize it was
Oh, right.
because now
Okay.
I know it's that. I'm definitely gonna see it.
Yeah,
That's out in
yeah, yeah,
2 weeks.
defo.
That's out in 2 weeks. I'm definitely gonna see it.
Um, this is. Did we see this? Did we see the trailer for this one? It lives inside. Did we see
That is
that one?
gonna be wicked. Zakroff is waiting for that. Maybe we
Yeah.
get Zakroff on for that show because we didn't
Well,
get
it's
him
coming
last
out for
time.
me. It's coming out for me on the 21st of September, though.
Okay, I'm gonna contact Zakroff
It
and
might. It might come out earlier for you, though.
yeah, I'll ask Zakroff when it's out. We'll try and coordinate with him because he
Yeah,
really he
we'll do
really wants
that.
to see that as well. So
I want to see that. That's
yeah,
on my watch list.
yeah,
All right, folks. Well, listen, look, you've heard it. Thanks for tuning in for this week. We'll bring you more
mm,
movies, more film news, and more banter. And remember, keep in touch with us on Twitter, X, you name it, whatever it is called. Get out there.
yeah.